How's it going, everyone? It's your boy Shockwave48 here. Welcome back to another video. And today we are got ourselves a new chapter of My Hero Academia, chapter 411. It's getting crazy, guys. Things are starting to really heat up on this chapter because obviously Deku isn't doing very well in this fight as we speak because he lost Danger Sense from Shigaraki that he stole from him, much less that he's going to have to find a way to stop him, before he lose more power. Because obviously Shigaraki is crazy overpowered. So as far as I'm concerned, Deku's going to step up and find a way to stop him before he comes quirkless. So we don't want that to see. Because we don't want to see a Deku, a useless Deku again. Because we can't see that. I don't know. Because if it does happen, he's going to get killed, and I don't want that to happen. So without further ado, guys, let's jump right in this chapter and see what's up.
The 411 spoilers here, and this is a really exciting chapter because we are like in the midst of Izuku versus Shigaraki, the final battle of My Hero Academia. There is only a handful of chapters left at this point, guys. We've only got maybe until March, maybe April, maybe even February. We don't have a lot of time left, so let's really enjoy this for what it is because, this is the end, 100%. But coming off of the previous chapter, we saw Bakugo seemingly officially defeat All for One. Like, he eventually regressed to a egg. Like, from a fetus into an egg, and then just nothingness. And Bakugo being the victor by stifling him enough to revert to that point. Then we came to Shigaraki taking on Izuku, and Shigaraki was able to graze Izuku's face, but just that graze was able to take one of his quirks within One for All, and that quirk being Danger Sense from the fourth user, Shinomori. And with that, he took the vestige as well, seemingly. And we're finding out exactly what's happening in this chapter because on a flashback, Yoichi says that this is now officially a successor battle. Successor referring to, of course, the successor of One for All and All for One, the battle that has been going on for the last 100+ years. He says that they have to defeat Tomura, and Nana looks conflicted. Banjo says that overcoming the regeneration will be their biggest challenge. A giant hand then appears inside the vestiges. Shinomori then sacrifices himself to protect the other vestiges, getting absorbed by Shigaraki. Shigaraki says, so this is part of the power that my master struggled so much to steal? And Shigemori's chair gets decayed, and Banjo is surprised. So that was the explanation of how Shigaraki was able to take just individually Danger Sense from Izuku. It wasn't so much as like he searched for it or he grabbed him and just specifically took it. He was like just gonna take all of One for All in that instance, I suppose, or all of the Vestige's quirks. And it was Shinomori, the fourth user, that sacrificed himself so that only his quirk, or he as a vestige as well, would be taken instead of all of them, which is very noble. I mean, they're all noble individuals. These are all some of the most legendary heroes to ever live, all living as these Force ghosts inside of the One for All quirk factor, of course. But Shinomori, man, what a bro. But also, maybe should have threw Banjo in there. Izuku can afford to lose Black Whip at this point, I guess. Or at least, not even Banjo, N. Smoke, the sixth user, throw him in there. Throw him to Shigaraki and have him get taken, because at this point Izuku doesn't really need the smoke quirk. Keep Black Whip and for sure keep Danger Sense. That is like the #1 quirk that you essentially need to take on Shigaraki aside from the stockpiler quirk. But man, Shinomori probably could have saved yourself at this point, but I get it. I respect it, but man, just give him N. Deku mixes Black Whip, Fajin, and Gear Shift to use Black Chain, but Shigaraki dodges it with Danger Sense. So that's how you've been doing all of my attacks. Shigaraki goes to attack Deku and mocks him for the "I can't pretend I didn't see you crying" line. Again, that whole "I can't pretend I didn't see you crying," that's
I really hate Shigaraki.
End game here. how Izuku is eventually going to, I guess, ultimately defeat Shigaraki by pulling out the inner Tenko Shimura from within him. I mean, the intro to season 6 kind of gave away what the ending was with Shigaraki, I suppose, but if that doesn't happen at this point, I would be surprised. I mean, I was wrong before. I thought that Shigaraki was going to get the final kill on All for One, and that definitely didn't happen. Although it still could, maybe, but it doesn't really seem completely likely at this point. But yeah, that whole I didn't see you crying thing is coming back to the inner Tenko inside of Shigaraki, which is still very much a thing. But Shigaraki now has danger sense, which is spider sense, and that's dangerous. Like I said, Izuku needs that to defend himself against Shigaraki, because all Shigaraki needs to do is touch you once. But if he just touches a regular person once, they're getting, like, evaporated or disintegrated. But if he touches Izuku, he's getting one for all from him and killing him at the same time. So now he kind of just has to fight him on reflexes without the assistance of the cheat codes, I guess you could say, that come with Danger Sense, where you can have a kind of like, if you follow One Piece, it's like Future Sight with the hockey. It's kind of like that, right? You can anticipate what your opponent is going to do within seconds. But anyway, Shigaraki's like, that's not me anymore. You're still treating me as a human being? Deku protects himself with Black Whip, but his mask breaks. The mask All Might got back from me after I dropped it. They're now right next to Mount Fuji. So yeah, the mask from, I guess Izuku had it for a while now, but it became more prominent in the Dark Deku arc. I guess that's what it's being called, the Deku Black or Dark Deku arc, whatever it's called. You know what I'm talking about. When he became slightly edgy, more vigilante-like, but still, you know, very much PG Deku. But going
I kind of like that Deku. He was OP.
several week journey that he did, the mask got disheveled and worn and got all grungy and whatnot, but he still kept it, you know, because it represented that part of his life, and it also All Might getting it back for him. And we saw him use it in the previous chapter as well. But the mask is broken, which I guess can symbolize him letting go of that part of him, but also it being broken by Shigaraki represents that Deku can only go forward at this point. I'm sure there's a bunch of symbology to this. Shinomori says that the quirks getting stolen won't decrease One for All's base strength, because that's stored on the quirk itself, not on the quirk factors. N says that they should run, because Shigaraki can just steal all of them in the blink of an eye. So yeah, this is, I don't know, kind of goes without saying, but I guess Horikoshi is just putting it here for like the people who aren't hardcore psychos about this series that just need clarification on something like this. Like, you know, most of us know that the power, like the superhuman superhero strength that comes with One for All, is a part of the power stockpiler aspect of the quirk. Like, it was fostered throughout the years, more so really started with Shinomori, the fourth user. Like, he was the one who started to realize the potential of it and started to build it up. But it wasn't until All Might that he really figured out that you could just abuse this thing and just grind it out and become God, which he did. And then he passed it on to Izuku. And I'm not, you know, talking crap on Izuku. I love him just as much as the next person, but let's just say that All Might ran so that Izuku could just crawl. Also, N talking here, it's like, bro, it should have been you, okay? Not Shinomori, it should have been you. Shigaraki says that I can see you, ghosts. You got stronger because you kept running away, right? So I'll destroy all of you right now. He says he'll turn everything into a giant wasteland, like Spinner wanted, and this destruction will start at Mount Fuji. I like that Shigaraki still has Spinner in the forefront of his mind. You know, they are boys, which is another thing that I really appreciate. Like, Shigaraki is like a full-blown psychopath at this point, but he still is down for his boys, like Spinner, because Spinner was like one of the first people who was really ride or die for Shigaraki, because let us keep in mind that Shigaraki wasn't always the boss that he was now. Like, he was an angsty man-child. Like, they literally call him a man-child at the beginning of the series, and it really took until the My Villain Academia arc for him to become who he is, or at least to start to become who he is now, the incarnation of destruction. But it was like Spinner Spinner, who is really like on board with him from the beginning before everyone else caught on. Because he also related to him somewhat, mainly because they both liked video games and they were both, he kicked out of his mind. I think
That
it's
guy
why
was a
he's
crazy man. A crazy lizard
Shigaraki
man.
is smiling and enjoying the moment. Banjo says that if he destroys Mount Fuji, lava will come out and make it even worse. And says that Shigaraki isn't just all for one successor, he's destruction itself. Deku says, still, there's a reason for all of this. He thinks back to his talk with Ochako and smiling, and says, you're still human. He's smiling and covering his arm with Black Whip, preparing to attack as Shigaraki's danger sense activates. End of chapter. So, yeah, like I said, this is going back to Izuku, I guess, ultimately saving Shigaraki at the end by pulling the Tenko Shimura aspect out of him. Now, how is he going to do that? Really anybody's guess. There's going to be some quirkery involved here. And judging from Endeavor's seemingly vision of the future, I don't think it's going to leave everybody quirkless, which is what my solution would be for the end of this series, just to remove quirks from the world, because that saves everyone, as well as saving everyone from the inevitable quirk singularity. And, you know, also bringing justice to all of the heteromorphic quirk users who are living, like, unfair lives, you know, with discrimination and having quirks that they don't want. But that's a story for another time. Maybe I'll make another video just dedicated to that, even though I don't really think anybody cares what I have to say about that stuff. But Izuku still having a heart of gold here, still smiling, knowing that, hey, there's a part of you that is still human, Shigaraki, and I'm going to find it and I'm going to pull that out of you. So let me know what you think about.
Well, this is going to be very intense to say. This is quite very, very unexpected to see from this chapter. Because how in the world are you going to pull that boy out Shigaraki anyway? I mean, either A, are you just going to charge at him with a Black Whip attack, or B, try to find a way inside him and risk your whole life just to save that boy. You might end up losing one for all at least, or you may not. I mean, there's got to be a way for him. I mean, he did say he's going to save him in season 6, but one for all was like saying that he can't be saved. There's nothing there. I mean, the only way you're going to do is just kill him. But we already know Deku doesn't kill. He never kills. If he wanted to, he would have done it in the first place, but he wouldn't do it for his own sake. Not for this kid. But like he said in chapter, there's still human part of you, Shigaraki. It's just that evilness is taking control of you. And that boy right there is one of them. So I don't know how is he going to do it besides that, because although Shigaraki has danger sense, and that's going to pretty much be a disadvantage for him, but he'll find a way. Deku will always find a way. We know he doesn't give up on anything, especially saving the kid. So, yeah. Alright guys, that's it for today's video. Thanks for watching. I'm looking forward to see what happens next in the next chapter. I don't know if we're on break, but I'm pretty sure we're going to have to wait a few weeks for the next chapter. Looking forward to it. Thanks for watching.